but my black trans, my black gender expansive folks, this video is for you. You're the compass. You deserve to be free. These are 10 things you need to know before moving abroad. Shit is getting rocky. Shit is getting scary. It's been scary. It's been rocky. And I want to take a minute to share at least some of the wisdom and knowledge I have gained over my journey of leaving the US back in September 2020 and going on 5 years of living abroad. I feel like I might have a little something to share for the collective. So let's get into it. If there's someone who's watching this video who is knowledgeable about or can support specifically Black trans, Black and gender expansive folks in getting their passports or knows the nuances, because there's always a fucking way. There always has to be a way. Our ancestors have shown us and told us that there is always a way. When there ain't no way, we make a way. So if there's someone knowledgeable, I need you to make yourself known in the comments. I'll reach out to you and talk to you, because before I open that up to the world, I want to I don't know, vet you, make sure you're cool, whatever. But it is 4 o'clock in the morning here in Salvador Bahia, Brazil. But I could not sleep. And it's not too often. Like usually I play my little game and I go right to sleep. I think it was on my heart to share this video. I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet because I can be long-winded, because I'm neuroexpansive. My brain is not very linear, so I will start here and then I'll go here and then I'll go here, then I'll go here, then I'll go right back here. I'm gonna try to keep it right here as much as I can, but also bear with me. If you're new here, my name is Ami. My pronouns are he, him. What makes me qualified to talk about this? I'm a Black, queer, trans, fat, expansive, mad, COVID conscious, disabled, world traveler, and migrant. I have lived in and traveled to 10 countries. I have left and came back. I've left the United States 4 times. I speak 2 languages. I'm learning my third. My goal is to be a polyglot. And I have what many people would say found a way to live a life that I think where I'm free. I'm still reconciling with that. But I live a life with a level of freedom that I think a lot of people hope to have, and I'm grateful to feel like I do have it. So I'm going to share, this is for my Black trans sibs specifically, like this video is for y'all, and Indigenous folks, y'all too. White people click off and go send me some money. But my Black trans, my Black gender expansive folks, this video is for you. Number one, the first thing that you need to know before moving abroad is that the US is lying to you. I think a lot of us know that, but I really need you to take in the US is lying to you. And the biggest thing they're lying to you is that everywhere else is dangerous, but I need you to know that there are spaces and places in this world where you can feel safe and or safer. There are places in the world that you can feel safe. There are places in the world you can feel safer. But especially, I want you to know that the US is lying to you about food. They're lying to you about other countries. They're lying to you about COVID. They're lying to you about disability. They're lying to you about healthcare. They're lying to you about so many things. And I feel like that's an important thing to know before moving abroad. And that's going to lead into my next number 2, because you need to realize that you have been lying to, and that's going to be a grieving process. And that's going to actually is going to connect to number 7 as well. But that's the first thing to realize, what we've been told is what is reality for ourselves and other places in the world is a lie. Number 2, leave that colonizer shit over there. And this can mean so many things. But I mean that in a way of white supremacy, capitalism, all these systems of oppression, they live within all of us. And some of us had to, almost all of us had to learn, adapt, or whatever we had to do to survive and with living in the United States. And so when I say this is that you need to make sure when you're leaving the US, you're leaving with a desire to unlearn. Make sure you're leaving with a desire to connect. Make sure you're leaving with the desire to immerse and shed the shit. Also be willing to be told and understand that the way we were taught things are or how things should be or how we should do things. It's not how everyone else does it. That was one of my biggest lessons when I first moved abroad, realizing that just because it's a way I learned how things are or should be does not mean that's the only way it can happen, that's the only way it should be. So the idea of like you know best or like the the colonizer mindset to like control and urgency and like there's so many aspects. Like look up like the tenets of white supremacy, look that up and leave all of that over there or be ready to let that shit go when you move abroad because I truly feel like if you want to have a fruitful and abundant time abroad, in a way that's in right relationship with the people of the places you're going and the land, you gotta leave that shit over there. It's a process though, so don't judge yourself. It's with compassion. The compassion is really important. I'm also tired. It's 4 a.m. So give me grace because yeah. Number three, um, the money will come from your abundance. The money will come from your abundance. A lot of times people asking me, how do you afford, like, what jobs do you work? Da, 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 da. How do you afford to live abroad? I'm gonna tell you right now, the only ways I've been able to live abroad is through mutual aid, teaching English, freelance, contract work, grants, odd jobs, volunteering, um, and miracles and the genuine kindness of strangers. Those are 9 ways I've afforded or been able to live abroad. Mutual aid is a big one. Volunteering is a big one. Teaching English, and like so. Right now, I'm just now feeling like I'm making headway in healing my relationship to money. So that's imperative. But I just want you to know that like when you're in alignment, like when you are connected to like whatever it is, like your purpose and like someone said, care from erotic liberation said, there's a spider right there. You are the purpose. Whatever like you are that needs to be seen by the world, like you are the purpose, whatever that is, that's where your money will be. Connected to that, number four, get your passport. I know this is a little violent to say that so just like because like right now a lot of trans people especially are having their passports taken away, their documents and stuff like that. There's definitely space for that. And for a lot of trans folks, it is like nearly impossible, risky, all the different things. Um, check in with your people, check in what is in alignment for you. I truly believe life will fall into place somehow, some way when you're in alignment. If there's someone who's watching this video who is knowledgeable about or can support specifically Black trans, Black and gender expansive folks in getting their passports or knows the nuances, because there's always a fucking way. There always has to be a way. Our ancestors have shown us and told us that there is always a way. When there ain't no way, we make a way. So if there's someone knowledgeable, I need you to make yourself known in the comments. I'll reach out to you and talk to you because before I open that up to the world, I want to like, I don't know, vet you, make sure you're like, cool, whatever. But if you can, like for me specifically, I am trans. I've been publicly open as trans for 20, no, 2020, 4 years. 2021, something like that. Wow, that's weird. 3 or 4 years. But I have not changed any of my documentation. My life that I live day to day, like I'm called my name, but my documents say my previous name and everything like that. And also my passport does not expire until 2020, end of 2020s. I say this all to say is like if you can, go get your passport. If you need to do that thing of like, oh, I should get, go get it. I understand there's a lot of barriers and things, but if you can, go do it. If you can't, if there's things in your way, um, I want someone who's watching this that is trans or is connected or is like not an ally, like accomplice. I need an accomplice to the trans community to comment down below if you are knowledgeable of the ways in which we can figure this out so people can get their documents and do so safely as possible. Thank you. Number 5, we all can't leave. That's something I've contended with a lot. For the longest time, I didn't really share. I didn't share for a plethora of reasons about my journey. Um, And a part of that was like I would have these conversations with people like, well, everyone can't leave. Like you can't be making these like grand gestures or grand like saying these grand things about people should leave. We all can't leave. And we have to do our part. We have to do our part. So like if you are leaving, know that like you have a part in this too. I feel like everyone like the biggest thing we're learning through all this is like we need community. And so the imperative thing in that is realizing like all of us have a part in this. I think this is part of my part is like number one, just being existing and showing y'all that like this is possible. Number two is just like sharing what I know. And like, yeah, I can send you a bunch of websites and stuff like that of like where to find online work and stuff like that. But I promise you none of those jobs because I've met people on the like in different places, the jobs or like the money sources and stuff like that, like it will come, but like that, how do I say this? That remote job is not going to set you free. And that sounds really weird to say, but I'm just saying like the freedom and all that stuff comes from like the inner work. Like it's outside the money. Like the money. I'm still healing my relationship with money. I'll get back to you on that one. I just want us to acknowledge that we all can't leave and we all have to do our part. We have disabled siblings that cannot possibly never leave. We have incarcerated siblings. And I just don't mean people that are actively behind bars, but people that are on parole, people that like will never be able to get a passport. There are people that the system has disenfranchised so many in so many ways that they may never be able to leave. And it's important we realize that everyone can't leave because we need to do our part to take care of each other, even beyond borders. That still needs to be an important part of whatever we do. Number 6, you are never not going to be scared. Like, as far as like before you go, um, you're going to feel so many emotions. But I just want you to know if you're waiting for the time that you're going to not feel scared, or it's going to feel comfortable, or it's going to feel less scary or less anxiety, whatever the case may be. Obviously, plan as much as you can, do what you got to do, but there's not going to be a time where like this is going to feel good. It's going to be uncomfortable. Basically, what I'm trying to say is like, don't try to wait until it feels more comfortable to take the leap or when it doesn't feel scary because that time may never come and you may die wishing that you did the thing that you wanted to do. But I will offer you an exercise that I've offered to people I've done like consulting with and want to move abroad, so on and so forth. Whatever your fears are, write them out. So if you're like, I'm terrified of moving abroad, write down every fear. And this is more like a heady type of way. Like I feel like there's a lot of somatic things, and that's like stuff I'm still learning. So that's not my strong suit. But the somatics, the body, that is all important. Look into that as well. But I think a good first start that anyone can do, whatever fears you have about moving abroad, write them down. For me, my biggest fear when I moved abroad, when I was moving abroad to Monte, Ecuador, was I was going to go abroad. I was going to walk down the street and I would get robbed. Someone would take all my money, everything I've ever owned, and I would be left with nothing, no phone, no credit card, no way to like do anything. And I'll just be stranded and stuck in like whatever. Basically what I'm saying is you write out all your fears and there could be little things from like, for me, it was like the language barrier. I was terrified to not be able to communicate with people. That's something I'm still terrified of. I moved to Brazil. I'm in Brazil. I didn't know Portuguese. I know Spanish. Yo hablo español, pero no fluido. Y también portugués en español. Sí está parecido, pero no es lo mismo. It's very different. And so there's a level of like, you write down the fear. Language barrier. I'm terrified not being able to communicate with people. What are the tangible things you can do to work on that? Maybe it's not you, maybe you don't have the money to take language lessons, but maybe you can go on Tandem. Do not go on Duolingo, please. Maybe you can listen, go on them dating apps and start swiping on people and seeing if people want to be language exchange buddies. Tandem's a good place. I think it's an app. still that exists. You can start watching videos like in other languages, like watch children's shows. Like you start get the basics because children are trying to learn language almost in the same way that you want to. Start from the bottom. Watch children's shows in the language you want to learn. Start making friends in other places. Like there. So like what's another fear? Going broke. One thing I did when I first moved abroad is I left $1,000 with my uncle at the time that I had a decent relationship with. He was the one person I trusted in my family that like if and when I needed that money, he would send it to me. So like if that situation happened when I got robbed and I had nothing to my name, I knew exactly who I can call, be like, hey, send me that money, or hey, use that money, book me a ticket to come back to US or somewhere else, whatever the case may be. I say it to say is like a lot of times our fears try to tell us there's no other option. And when we write it out, it gives us opportunity to write down tangible things. What can I do to make this feel a little less? It may not it may not subside it completely. Maybe you have a fear that's so out there that it's like, hey yo, with me, I don't know how to figure out solutions to that. If that's the case, put it down below. Trust and community. Maybe we can find some abundance in this chat and we can find some solutions for you for that fear. Yeah, write them down and write some tangible things that can help. So yeah, I left someone that money and I wound up having to use it because I went broke abroad. But it's like the little things. Like I knew that like because I did and put these little things in place for myself, that if those fears did come true, at least I had some idea of what I would do. And that kind of makes the fear feel a little like it don't really got that much power now, does it? Number 7, take time before to like try your best to process what the fuck is about to happen, but also realize like once you get abroad, like you're gonna start to grieve and you're gonna realize a lot of shit. It's gonna be hard. Like your first couple months, like honestly, if you can set yourself up as best as possible just to be able to like process and like you're gonna be exhausted. You're gonna be tired, you're gonna be exhausted, you're going to be grieving, you're gonna be like I'm not gonna tell you how you will feel, but like you may feel angry and sad and excited and like you're going to feel so many things that maybe you even didn't have access to feeling before. It's gonna be a lot. Make sure as much as you can you make space for that because it's kind of like and like it's kind of like leaving a toxic relationship. I explained this in a video in the like back in the day. Like it's like a situation when you're in a pot of boiling water. When you're in the pot of boiling water and you've been in it your whole life, you don't realize that it's hot. It's not until you get out of the pot of boiling water and you realize, oh shit, I didn't have to be boiling all this time. Who the fuck put me in there? Who the fuck turned the heat on? Who told like that? But also like, damn, like I need to like take care of my wounds. Like I'm not okay. Like this was a lot. Like it's going to be a lot. So as much as you can make space for that, whether it's like having a bigger safety net or having the support, whatever the case may be, which will lead to my next one. But just realize you're going to feel a lot. Like you're going to start returning to your body in a way you're like, fuck, that was a lot. As much as you can, make the space for those feelings, for that grief, for that anger, for that rage. There will be some rage. Yeah, I'm tired. And that leads me to my next one, number 8. You can't do this alone. Like you need support. And whatever that looks like, I'm trying to figure out now what spaces I can help create because I want to be in the right relationship, whatever I create. I can create for y'all to like have support with each other or have support with other folks. But I just want to name like you really like you cannot do this alone. Don't try to like my move abroad to Brazil would never have happened if I didn't like lean on like people in my life and my community for support. Um, whether it's like you have one person, you have two people, you have three people, like however you can get the support you need to navigate this, whether that's financially, mentally, emotionally, physically, whether it's like, hey, maybe it's like homies you're not that close with, people can come help you pack. Maybe there's people you're close to, you can like talk about your feelings and what's coming up for you and also have someone to call when you're back home, when you get there. Maybe it's financially crowdfunding and asking people like, hey, I need help, like crowdfunding. Maybe it's like packing or moving or like a ride to an airport, but just know like you need support through this. And I know a lot of us community and all this stuff is really shaky and it's really hard to like navigate all that stuff of like how to connect, how to be in community, what does that even mean, da 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 da. And as much as you can, in whatever ways you can, find people that can support you through this because you need people. We all need people. Believing we can do stuff alone and like we have to be individualistic is white supremacy. That's not ours. That's not in our ancestry. Number 9, I put currency. I guess learn the currency that you're going to. Get an international friendly card. I have a Charles Schwab card. It's been decent for me. They've also changed a lot since I first got them. There's probably others if folks can help me in the labor of sharing down below what cards they use. But get a card that does not have foreign transaction fees, that's not going to charge you foreign ATM fees. And at the very least, get you one that will at least reimburse you or like send you the money back at the end of the month for any ATM fees. But you cannot be abroad. I mean, you can, but it's going to be really fucking like frustrating and difficult to be in another country. And every time you swipe your card, they're charging you 50 cents, 10 cents, whatever amount of cents or dollars to like use your card. So try to get a card that is like international friendly. I'm gonna add to this one too, number 9. Um, if you don't already, make sure your phone is unlocked. If it's not unlocked, pay your phone off. Make sure you have a phone that's unlocked so whenever you go somewhere, you can get a SIM card. And make sure that like there's a lot of things these companies try to do when it comes to unlocking your phone. Make sure it's like completely unlocked. I literally bought a phone um back in like 20 something 2019 or something like that. When I went to Thailand, they said it's blocked. I bought that phone outright, but there was some type of caveat in the contract I had with Straight Talk that said that like they can't unlock my phone until after I've had 12 months of service or something with them. Look into all that stuff, find out what the things are. If it's not possible, if you can get a new phone, if not, but I just say getting an international friendly debit card, and making sure your phone is unlocked and there's no carrier lock or anything like that is like really important. And last but not least, number 10, you may lose a lot in this process. One of the things that you lose is your sense of like stability. At least that's something I've lost at times, and that's not a guarantee. But I think a lot of us coming from the US, we have extracted our sense of stability and safety from shit that's never actually like was never actually meant to like make us actually feel safe. It was a false sense of security. So you may lose a lot. You may lose your like material items, so you have to like give things away, sell them. You may lose like friendships or relationships because people won't get it. um I feel like people are getting it now. Like if you told someone now I'm leaving the country, they're like, that's valid. When I left like 5 years ago, everyone around me was like, some people were like in support and most people were like, but why? Like what is out there? Like what, like where are you going? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? And there's maybe people still like that because they're under the impression that the US is the greatest place to live. Like there's still people that believe that. You may lose a lot, material things, shedding like beliefs, shedding like shit that no longer serves you. You may lose like relationships. You may lose like maybe even possibly like who you understood yourself to be. And you have a lifetime of freedom that you will gain. You will gain a lot from moving abroad. Even if you move abroad and you have to go back in a year, because I've had to go back 3 times now. I went back in 2022, 2023, and I also went back last year, 2024. Not every year. Each time's a little bit longer. Each time's a little bit more excruciating. And I'll also tell you, I'll just like ruin the surprise for you. Going back to the US is absolutely horrible. After leaving and experiencing what is possible abroad, it's horrible. like -10, do not recommend. And also do not hold shame if you do have to go back because money or whatever reason. I've had to go back because I've gone broke. I've had to go back because I didn't plan on going back, but life happened and shit happened. Don't carry shame for that. You still did it. Just because you have to go back doesn't erase the fact that you did it. And you can always leave again, hopefully. Like, I say that just because who fucking knows what's gonna happen in the US? Because they're talking about building a dome. What does that even mean? But yeah, you may lose a lot, but a lot of stuff you may lose or shed maybe were things you weren't that weren't serving you from the beginning. You may lose that car that you bought. You may lose like the opportunities that you thought were free. You may lose the life that you thought was going to be your life. Um, but I promise you, you have a lot more to gain. And like the stuff that you will gain on the other side is going to make life actually worth living, hopefully. At least I believe that. I've lost a lot, relationships, beliefs, lessons, like, oh, I gained lessons, but I never had a car, so many material possessions. At one point I had from my like own possessions, I had a small rolling suitcase and a backpack. That's all I had left of my own possessions when I had to leave my home for my safety back in 2022. And I never like really built back up from that. But it doesn't make it easy, but I promise you I wouldn't. If you asked me to trade my life I have now for those things, I would never do it. I think part of the reason the ancestors, whoever has me make this video, is like the world specifically needs you to be free. Like Black, Indigenous, gender expansive folks, the world needs you to be free. We have the wisdom and like we have the compass of like what liberation can look like, can feel like. Um, so like do not let anyone tell you that you're not divine. Do not let anyone talk you out of your light. Um, I make this video and I make my content, especially for gender expansive folks, because I know that is the most marginalized. We have to center the most marginalized if we ever want to be free. And there's even like, I know there's people that are like Black and queer and disabled and even encompass even other identities within that. You specifically have to be free because within the cells of your body, within the lessons, within your heart, within your spirit, within your connection to yourself and the earth and the ancestors and the universe is the compass, is the wisdom, is the knowledge, is the love, is the care, is all the shit that we need to actually like make it out of this shit alive and to make it on the other side. We have to show, we don't have to, we have to show the rest of the world um, what connection, actual connection looks like. We have to show ourselves and each other what building in the face of everything falling apart and in the face of everything falling apart, we have to show the world what else is possible. Yeah. My phone's about to die. You're the compass. You deserve to be free. Am I done? I think I'm done. I don't know when it's gonna be posted, but and thank you for watching. Um I'll try to edit this soon so that it can go into the world. Thank you for the space to be real, to be me, to be human. If you have any questions, drop them out below. Check the description box. But between the time now and when I post this, I'll probably have some level of support or next steps that could be helpful for to you. Um, Check the comments. Leave a comment down below. Either tell me something you're grateful for, tell me what you're navigating trying to move abroad. If you want to share part of your story, whatever feels resonant or feels important, um, I'll do my best. I'm not always the best at keeping up with comments, but make sure y'all also connect with each other down below. Um, and I'm gonna try to create some space where folks can stay connected. I don't know how far this video will reach, but just know you are divine and you deserve the safety and the care and the light and the love and the connection that these systems, these white people try to tell you don't deserve. Like you deserve all of it, plus so much more. It's already paid for. Our ancestors already paid for this shit. You're here to feel. You're here to be alive. You're here to be alive and feel alive and to live a life that actually feels worth living. You're here to embody and live out what liberation can be and feel like. And all you have to do is just be you. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see y'all later somewhere on the world. And this won't be the last video. So if you need more support, let me know down below. I'll continue to make more content. I love y'all. Besitos, beijo queijo, as they say in Brazil. And peace.